welcome to Pseudorandom.
Okay.
Hi.
Here we are yet again.
Yeah, we keep doing this.
On this couch.
Talking about stuff. We talked about keyboards.
Keyboards, that was one of our best pseudorandoms. Not that they're all not the best ever, but that one was pretty amazing.
Special in their own unique snowflake way.
And we touched on mice.
Did we touch on mice?
We did, briefly.
I touch on mice daily. But we briefly did. Well, now we're going to touch on them a lot more. We're gonna smack them.
I have this pile of mice right here.
You grab like a whole gaggle.
Yes, this is a little bit ridiculous how many mouses you have.
Yeah, it's funny. You
actually have a question. Why do you have so many?
It's all about, like last time I said, the interface is so important. My friend Chad said to me, he said, well, the computer and digital, everything's so abstract, so intangible, places a lot of tangible physical importance on these interface devices. So I'm like, maybe it feels a little bit different. Maybe this one, I want to try this. I was working at my desk a lot and wanted to mix it up.
Well, you do like video and graphics and music. Yep. And we've actually, it's interesting, we've done a lot of user interfaces, technology. Yeah, we do a lot of sitting, but a lot of technology interfaces is what we're talking about on Pseudorandom. So we talked about musical human interfaces, forward and back, and then you talked about keyboard interface and now mice interface.
Yep.
And
I'm big on interfaces. You're getting it. You're getting my hint. Yeah.
Yeah, you are all about that thin divide between human and machine.
It's really true. I've written that in personal statements.
And you
I have.
And you like to also game? It says designed by gamers.
The gaming is good.
Do you do
designed by gamers can be a good thing.
Do you do console gaming or PC gaming?
I do my social gaming on a console with multiple people in one room, and then I do PC gaming. Like
Wii bowling at the party.
That could happen.
But when you're alone,
maybe some Tower Fall or something.
Yeah.
And then alone, you can do some Eve Valkyrie or some some XCOM, something like that.
And you don't use just the keyboard, because you had some keyboards you talked about how they were like popular with gamers, but you don't
mechanical keyboards are pretty popular with gamers.
But you don't just use keyboard. Yes.
Yeah. Mice.
Mice is huge. Okay.
Mice is the thing. I do that. That is actually my favorite. Not that one.
Okay. You want to talk about your favorite one first? This one.
That one.
This one. Sorry.
This.
The black one with the cord.
I'm like, no.
Not this one. Not this one.
That one. No, it's.
Do you want to maybe show us on the overhead and talk about why you like this one so much?
Sure.
That would be lovely.
I got an overhead camera right here. Let's use it.
How convenient.
This is my friend, the G9X, the Logitech G9X. And actually, I do have like a real fondness for it. It's sort of intensified because they don't make it anymore, and they haven't for years. And so I have to be very careful with it, and basically, just hope it never breaks on me.
What would break on a mouse?
Sometimes they start getting flaky. I mean, the cable certainly is the first thing.
Okay.
That's the first thing to go.
You can replace a cable.
You can replace a cable. I can certainly replace a cable. Sometimes stuff inside goes wrong. I mean, I guess like a cap. Not that there's a lot going on.
Maybe the optical sensor gets dirty, or the button.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait, what's going on there?
This is actually a pretty cool feature.
What?
You can put on a different handle on here. I have one over there. Maybe it was in the box. But yeah, it's on there. They gave you like a different grip. The other one's like, it's like here, it came with this nice, soft, comfortable with this little lip on it. The other one it came with was like uncomfortable sandy grip. And yeah. And
at first I was like, are you breaking your mouse right here? What's going on?
Yeah, it's like a sacrificial thing. They even have, a lot of them have this nowadays, like a little tray.
Wait,
where you can add weights if you want it to be heavier.
Really?
I obviously wasn't that interested in it.
So you get like little lead chunks that you can...
Yeah, they come with like little lozenges, like little metal lozenges that you put in there.
Wow, mouse technology has evolved.
Well, that's, it's the gaming angle.
And is this a
when
gaming
it's made for gamers, then, we have like 8 more features to consider, and, you got to give it, 10,000 more DPI that you won't ever use and things like that.
Is this a gaming mouse?
This, I guess, it's a G series. Ooh, yeah.
G for gaming or G for graphics?
G for good.
Okay.
They do get a lot more wear and tear by and large. so they tend to be more sturdy. And most of them use cables because for latency considerations.
And they're used continuously for like 14 hours at a time because you're playing some game for long term.
Yeah, even if I'm like breathing in my apartment, then I'm probably using it for 12 hours at a time or something. So,
okay, and you got two buttons and a scroll wheel.
Yep, standard.
And then there's side buttons.
There's a little display here that shows the DPI. And
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Like a little OLED screen or what?
No, it's just little masked LEDs.
Okay.
Just have like,
and then
steps.
what's these two buttons here?
That's to control the DPI.
Why would you want less DPI?
If you, like when you're just using desktop applications, you might want to move around at a certain speed, and then when you go play Doom or whatever, you might want a faster speed.
Okay.
Yeah, I do like that. Yeah, I don't use it that much, so.
Okay, and it has a fabric cord, which I find sort
Yeah.
of fascinating. What's up with
I
that?
kind of thought this was a gimmick when they first started adding them, and then everyone demanded them, and every gaming mouse needed them. But to tell you the truth, it slips easier across surfaces, so it's not as annoying to have a cord. It doesn't tend to grip onto something and knock over your Diet Coke, or I don't keep drinks in front of my mouse, but it doesn't get stuck on other desktop items, so it makes it not such a big deal to have a wired mouse.
Okay.
So yeah.
And this is another mouse that also has a fabric cord, and this cord is enormous, which is great.
Really long cord. That's
A really
another
long cord.
Logitech one.
Yeah, can we look at this G series?
This one would be considered like a claw grip.
Claw grip.
mouse. Yeah, because you
That's claw?
hold it like this,
Okay.
have it like crunched up in your hand, and this one
Interesting.
could be held anyway, really, but this would be probably more like a fingertip, where you just grip it with your fingertips.
Wait, so I hold a mouse
How
like
do
this.
you hold a mouse?
Am I doing this all wrong?
No, it's not wrong at all. That would be palm grip. That's that's like the
why
more.
is claw better
Is it
for you?
For me, because this would be, if you're palming it, you're controlling the movement using your arm. So I'm actually using like my forearm then to move it. When I claw grip, I have my back of my palm against it and my fingers here, but I'll just move my wrist around and my fingers a bit to get it to move. I won't move my arm at all. So it's easier for me to make precise movements with my wrist.
I see what you mean, yeah, because you get more precision.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think some people just might have more precise forearms. It's possible. Mine are like, I can't do that. It's totally horrible.
Okay, so what is this mouse specially for? This also a gamer mouse?
This would be too. There's a lot of different flavors and options and stuff in the gamer world, and they tend to have really ridiculously overly high sensor resolution, sensor
like what
DPIs. This one, now I'm forgetting. I think this one's
1200?
one of them here is like 4800 was one of them.
4800? Wow.
Yeah, and it goes up to. It's just bizarre. I don't even keep track of them anymore because I don't care about the feature. But it was the last thing I saw was like, it was like 100,000 or something ridiculous.
Oh, this one has the DPI on the bottom. This one says 3500.
Yeah, and that's an old one.
Do you want to look at this one next?
Sure.
I'm just picking these out in any order.
This is actually kind of fun. I hope it's interesting for everybody else to watch.
Okay, so what's the story with this mouse?
This guy I have here is actually a real favorite claw grip mouse. This is the CM Storm Spawn, and it's been around the block. I've had it for a while. I love the shape. You can rest your pinky on the side here.
Yeah, it has a little pinky groove. Okay.
I guess you're supposed to hold it like this, but I always held it like this. And it's really cool, but man, I like a subdued look. I don't really need a sports car red with this big.
You think this is a little bit too glammy?
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. Actually, I spoke with one of the representatives from CM or Cooler Master in a forum, and they were asking like, what would you like the next version of the Spawn to be? And we actually gave input, and then they changed it, and they released a new version.
It's matte black.
And it is matte black, and even the logo is pretty stealthy, pretty chilled out. So, yeah, no, I'm not advertising.
It doesn't say Spawn in like big letters.
It's not like a Space Marine Dragon battle weapon like a lot of these other things.
There's definitely a style. Like this one is like really kind of like futuristic aliens. Like there's a claw. It's like like some sort of weird.
But it's a little Gary Newman. It's kind of got like a more subdued kind of edge to it. But
Hey,
yeah.
Colin, that red mouse, that now black mouse, which I think that was a great direction for them. But would you want a fabric cord on that as well?
I would. This mouse is only like $30, which as far as these things go is like dirt cheap. Yes, that would be nice. I don't need it as much as other gamers out there.
As you show
would,
these,
but
I'm curious about what you think the perfect mouse for you would be now. I know there's different applications and different everythings, but like if you could cobble it together, maybe.
it would be pretty close to this, but like probably 4 millimeters more height or so.
Wow,
and
that's pretty specific.
To tell you the truth, I've probably, the bones in my hand have probably adjusted and now grown, adapted to that first one I showed you. That's pretty much my ultimate one that I just hope never dies. The really hardcore gamers, you just pick this one up.
Okay, this was the hardcore one.
Yes.
I'll take these the spawn.
Yes, relieve me of this crowded.
I'm like the
Put them
Vanna
back in the
White of
cage.
nice
Thank you.
cables.
This
All right,
one
tell me about this one.
is a Zowie mouse, and maybe it's Zoe. I don't know. I've only read the name. I've never actually spoken it out loud.
I think Zowie's probably.
Zowie sounds good, and it sounds like an
It's a
exclamation.
little garish. Got the yellow.
It's got the yellow accent. It's kind of nice, you know. It's add a little color now and then.
Just
You
a
know
spot
about that,
color.
yeah.
Spot color.
Yeah. And this doesn't have any like software drivers to set any RGB backlighting or whatever, which you couldn't see if it was on those other mice in little places. It's really simple, and it just has one control for the DPI at the bottom. It toggles
And
through
it's a
it.
mechanical switch.
Yeah, they have they all have the usually Omron switches inside. And this one actually I opened up and I replaced the switches because they were super hard to click down.
And what kind of switches are they inside?
They're Omron. I'm forgetting the
Little
actual
square
line.
ones with smooth dot.
They're look like a little, almost like a relay, like a rectangle cube box thing.
Okay, Colin, I got a question.
Yes.
You
Does
knew a
body
lot
fill?
about the switches during the keyboard pseudo-random. Is
Right.
there a similar?
These are different switches.
Is
definitely.
there a similar community of mouse switches that people care about how it bounces and how it clicks?
Yeah. They definitely remember. People know the call numbers and they remember the character of each one. It's not as widespread and legible as the Cherry MX series with the mechanical
Have any
keyboards.
mouse
I like blues, but
Has any mouse manufacturer started making it so you can swap out the switches?
I was thinking about that. No, they
All right.
haven't.
Pseudo-random business incubator.
You heard it here
It's
first.
a challenge.
folks.
And do people like clicky or less clicky? And everyone has their own
You
preferences.
definitely you want clicky because it's like there's no travel here. I mean, there's very little travel distance. You're right on the edge of the actuation. Boom, boom, it's
Boom.
right there.
Yeah.
Like with a mechanical keyboard, like a lot of them, like you have a little travel down because you want to be able to hit them without actuating them all the time. But these, like, as soon as I press, I want it to go. There's no messing around.
Do you ever you do video editing and graphics and then gaming? Do you switch mouse, or do you have like one mouse that you kind of stick with?
I like to do the one mouse because of my setup right now. I have actually had to have two connected. It's easier, and I have been doing that. And it's kind of fun just to be like, ooh, variety, a little change of interface. But I like the one mouse theory.
And then if you have a laptop, do you plug a mouse in, or do you use the?
I'll usually
tablet?
plug a mouse in when I can, but trackpads are a nice variety too.
And
They're
then
not so bad.
I have a question. So all of these mice here, they all have cables.
They do. There's
What's-
one that doesn't have cables there.
What's up? Well, this is my mouse that I
Oh
bought.
yeah, but there's this guy in here.
This guy. Okay. Which
This is a
one's
little.
that?
When I was, see, a lot of them I would buy when I'm like, I think this would work. When the one I liked, broke or I couldn't get it again, and then I
That's
move
like the
on to
same
a
mouse
new
I
model.
have,
I would
almost.
buy, a little bit. It's definitely a little wireless one.
Oh no, that
This
one's
is-
that one's different. Never mind.
This is like really small. I think this is the Razer Ouroboros. Is that what it's called? I got to use my inner
So it
world
ate its
trailer
own
announcer
tail, and
voice
that's
for
why it's
that.
wireless.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the weird, exposed
Yeah, it's kinda
wheel
cool.
thing going on. It's
It's
like,
like
a bad
plateless keyboard or something.
motorcycle.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
And what is
it's
this
not-
for?
Not the great. This was when I was trying to find a mouse I liked, so I liked these ones that fit small in my front of my hand, and I thought, oh, this will be good. This is targeted at mobile gamers. It's for like laptop gaming people, small, and comes with a little pouch.
Okay, so what is the
Oops.
It's okay, L5. So why
Yep.
do you have corded mice? What's the corded mouse story?
The corded mouse story is for me is really I don't like changing batteries. And I'm like, why am I even wasting batteries, even if they're rechargeable? Like, why is that a thing? If I'm for the cord, I have a big USB hub sitting there with open jacks. Let's do it. Just plug it right in.
You don't
Doesn't
mind
bother me.
the cable.
I don't mind it. Yeah,
Okay.
it never got me. Some people use they're called a mouse bungees, which is a little flexible stand for the cable that holds it up.
That holds it up, so it's
And I
like,
remember at the
like a grip for the mouse.
yep, and it holds it up so it like dangles down to the
Okay.
mouse and on the pad. And in the peak of my mouse interest, I did make my own with I don't know, so like modeling wire I had, and then I'm like, I don't even freaking need this. Why did I do it? So yeah, it's just fine.
Another thing
It's
about
just
corded
fine.
mice is, it works on every computer. It's HID standard.
It's so much simpler. I mean, the wireless keyboards. I never put the keyboard in my lap. I never walk to the fridge with the keyboard. Like I never do anything like that. So unless it's like for for a TV box, then that's nice to have a wireless keyboard. But anything else,
Okay.
I like to keep it simple. I like to.
Some people have
functionality-wise.
created jammers that even jam those frequencies, so you wouldn't want your mouse jammed.
Mouse jam.
I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. There is actually There are issues with wireless mice getting interference, and I was just looking at tests the other day where people they're automating like circle drawing with the mouse, and then they introduce interference, and they watch it break up, and some of them are really laughably horrible. How it just went
Yeah.
and the tracking started going up all on the screen. But actually there was one that guy we have over here that was like kept making circles the whole time.
that's nice.
The newest Logitech wireless one.
Okay, and then we have like one interesting mouse here that is Phil's mouse.
Yeah, this
And I thought we would use this to This has like the shortest
that's
cable.
a really smart idea, content-wise too.
Yeah.
Um,
So what's up with this? This does not look anything like the other.
well, this is a
Mouses.
ball mouse, which I kind of miss ball mice.
Yeah.
This is so like
Open.
direct and simple.
And then you pop it.
It's just
And then you have to clean it constantly.
I get the tissue and I get the little spray on there. I go, okay, I'm all set. It wasn't
clean
bad.
the inside, too.
It wasn't bad cleaning the ball. It was cleaning the rollers that really sucked.
Yeah,
it
that
would
was
get
annoying.
this thick, like matted dust, like varnish. Kind
Why
of
did they
thick
make the
coating on
rollers
it.
out of like material that attracted dust? It seems like it.
And then
So this is
and then you
clearly
can
old.
scratch the rollers up pretty bad when
Yeah.
you're cleaning it, and then you're just like, oh, it's crap. Yeah, it is pretty old. There's some pretty interesting historical mice. I mean,
Look,
there's a
as long
mouse
as you
history
have
out there.
a bunny suit on and you live in a vacuum with no dust in a
That-
sealed environment,
Which is
it's
what
fine.
Steve Jobs expected.
Obviously, it's
of
our fault.
users.
Yeah. We're doing it wrong or whatever that is.
So this is a next.
This is
Mouse.
more cool than that is the fact that this is a Next mouse from
Yeah.
Next Computer, which I've written NS Vadyada so many times with the Apple APIs.
Yeah.
It's so strange that we're still using
this is not
the software they've
uncomfortable.
written so much. No, it's not.
It's not uncomfortable.
Yeah, it looks kind of weird, but your finger
actually
doesn't
is-
contact those sharp edges too much. So
Yeah.
it's kind
I
of
mean,
a claw grip kind of design
Yeah,
too.
the pinky is a little bit like floating, which is
Yeah.
annoying, but it's not very tall. It's a very flat mouse. But it's like, for something that looks like, Bauhausy, this is pretty good.
You're right, Bauhaus. That's a good point.
Like ADB or something going on here.
Yeah. Apple cereal.
Yeah.
I believe it was their
Sometimes
version that was slightly different, but I'd have to look that up again.
Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 different Next
The-
HID type protocols.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually hear what Disembodied Phil said.
Yeah, there's like because when we hacked the Next keyboard,
Right.
it wasn't ADB, and there was
Oh,
multiple
okay.
different protocols that came up with. So this is
What is with the same connector?
yeah,
Okay.
no, they had different
410
connectors, but
then.
I can never remember looking at it. It went through the speaker box. It was a little unusual.
That was like before I was Apple. I was Commodore back then, so I didn't.
What kind of
learn it
mouse did the
firsthand.
Commodore use?
A beige mouse.
It's beige. Well, on the topic of
I'm getting
historical,
a little nostalgic. I'm getting a little. I think you want to take a trip down mouse memory lane.
mouse lane. Yeah, let's check out what the history of mouse is, because
Can you do dream?
there is a long history. When was the mouse first invented, do you think?
Well, Douglas Engelbart. Hold on one second. Let me call that up in memory.
Okay. In your external.
I don't want to make a mistake. This is Douglas Engelbart's mouse prototype, which is broken. This is awesome. I mean,
Really?
it's just
Oh
basically.
no, because it's broken here. you
Yeah,
said?
yeah.
Okay.
It's just this jagged shard off of the front, and it uses these rotary wheels that were adapted from a planometer, which was it like is it distance or space measurement for, I forgot the actual application, but they're like thin as blades. They're
Okay.
like sharp edged, like pizza cutters.
Is this like the
blades in
things
there.
that we see people on the street when they're measuring distances and they have the little wheel they measure?
Yeah, I guess it must be.
Okay.
Yeah, I
But
think it's
for
the same
small-
idea. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it's
Surveying, but for-
they might be mechanical and be going like tick tick tick.
Mini surveying.
yeah.
And this is it. And this is the original.
Actually, that's a replica, really good replica, but it's a really good replica of the original. They even did the damage properly. They
I like the
recreated it.
red button. Is that just a single click?
That's single click. That's the first click.
Actually, this is my Etsy page. I sell artisanal mice now.
okay.
I think that would actually sell pretty well.
Yeah,
like
this
an
is
accurate recreation.
nicely hewn.
You're gonna do well there. I would. I envy you.
Okay, so this
Yeah,
is the
and-
first mouse.
It is. You can see here. Yeah, see how thin they are.
Wow.
So when one wheel was spinning, right? If you're going horizontal, the other wheel is straight dragging, like friction, like. And,
Yeah.
and apparently, when they're using it, in order to get like in order to move in a straight line, they had to move in an arc across the mat.
They couldn't tilt it? I guess maybe not. Maybe you got used to it.
Oh, yeah, I think they would lose too much contact, and I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I never used it.
This was
but
clearly not, I mean, it was, for a first mouse,
was-
it's pretty good, but
yeah.
there was a lot of work to be done with this.
They were noticing really interesting stuff about people using mice. They said the strange thing is people had to move in an arc to go in a straight line, but they didn't even notice. They just started doing it because they're looking on screen. Because this is a new idea. Then that people are doing something physical,
Yeah.
physical with gesturing, or at least primitively. It was interesting study in
Yeah,
user
there's the
interface.
feedback with the eye. So, what,
Yeah.
the eye is just like, well, whatever it takes.
I don't know what my arms are doing. In virtual space, I'm doing this.
Have you ever moved between Windows and Mac computers with a mouse? So, the way they do mouse acceleration is slightly
With a mouse?
different.
Oh yeah, I just did it yesterday. Yeah.
And it drives you completely.
It-
But you're.
every time I'm
and then a
like,
month later, you get used to it.
And then I can never tell which I really like better, with the acceleration or without. Yeah. I think it's an option to turn it on in Windows. Isn't it?
But then eventually you get used to it and you're like, oh, this is just.
Yeah.
It's become second nature.
And mouse acceleration is like a whole. That's a whole other thing
Whoa.
that people are like. Oh, this mouse is acceleration when the whole gaming mouse scene. But anyway, that was in 1964, and that is a beautiful. The fact that it's wood. Bill English built it for him, the engineer. They made it together. Like, there's a cool demo online you can look up and see of them demonstrating for the first time, and it talks about that arcing travel thing. It's
Okay.
really cool.
In the late 1200s, I believe the name of the artist was Giotto. The Pope had said, "Send me a picture of a circle," and he drew a perfect circle without a compass, and that was the measure of if you were a good artist or not. If you could free-handedly draw a circle. And I was thinking about something you said before about the interference with the mouse, and then this first mouse.
Ah.
And if you're really good,
Mhm.
you can draw a circle. And if you're really, really good, you'll make a mouse
That's good.
that can mouse a
You know,
circle.
reality is fractal based, so you'll see these things repeating over and over again.
Apparently.
People love
And
circles.
Speaking of circles,
They're pretty pleasant.
this is
Ooh.
cool.
Okay, what is
like,
this?
Is this from the Soviet Union?
This
It's
is
Sputnik mouse.
this is from Germany. This is the Telefunken Rollkugel. Telefunken.
Telefunken.
Probably the best company name.
That
Sorry,
is-
Adafruit's pretty good, but Telefunken,
I
it was
would've-
taken, right? So
Yeah,
right.
no. There was already a website. Okay, what is the. Okay, I can see it's some
Single
sort of-
button, definitely. Look at that, beautiful.
But the button's in the
silver.
center.
This does. It says cosmonaut really, really hard. It's screaming it. And look at the connector and
The
everything.
cable
It's-
connectors. I mean, it actually has like a
That's
braided
like-
cord, right? Or
Uh,
no? Or is it plastic?
No, I think it's like heavy rubber.
But
It
you
looks
know what's
thick.
funny? It has that Apple like strain relief.
Mm.
See that like the rubber piece that comes
That's
out of the
true,
mouse itself?
yeah.
That's Apple-y
I
mouse. so we're-
believe the edge on that enclosure could cleave any
I know.
line. Like,
And
look
what
at
is it made out of, you think?
Metal.
Just
I hope it
steel?
is. They didn't do silver plastic.
What's
then,
with that?
right?
What's with that arrow
What arrow?
on the that points towards?
Oh, it's like put your hand here.
This is which
Actually,
direction?
the really
This
early
side
one.
towards enemy.
maybe the cord was at the palm, at the base of the palm, because that's how the Engelbert's was.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Engelbart's, sorry.
I also think Pseudorandom's going to end up being a patent validation show. Because like we're showing like the strain relief and all these different things, and every
Right.
time
We
some
didn't think of
patent
that
troll is like,
crap.
I invented the mouse, they can just watch this.
People watching going, oh, I can sue him.
I
And
see.
then-
I think you're probably right. I think it probably that points forward,
Yep.
and the cable came on the back. Maybe
That's why they called them mice at first, because it was like that
looked
orientation made it even more seem like
Mouse-like.
head forward, tail back kind of thing.
okay.
And then they're like, wow, this is horrible. Why did you put the cord under my hand? Change it.
Well, I mean, but with these, your hand is so high up, it wouldn't
Yeah,
matter.
that's true. That's a forced claw
It's actually
grip. I
George
think.
Lucas's first licensing of the BB-8 droid.
It can. That could be.
Has a little R2D2.
Reminds me more of the medic droid
$80
from Empire
Available on Thingy.
Strikes Back. It's coming.
Okay, want to keep going?
And,
Yeah.
you know, and then these we grabbed courtesy of the Computer History Museum website. But Tony D,
Yeah.
our own Tony DeCola, took a trip to the Computer History Museum and brought back some documentation of his
Yeah.
own.
So I believe these are his photos too, right?
They are.
Yeah. So
Okay,
this is a
this
ARPANET.
is
That's the 3 lozenge
This is
pretty
beautiful.
mouse. That's the mouse from the Xerox Alto. And see, it might started with 3 buttons.
what a gorgeous mouse.
Oh, and the keyboard. That's
Ah.
for another. We already did that show. But it
Classic.
is it's a sweet, simple mouse. But
I
yeah,
love the lozenges. They're so big.
I want to.
Yeah, you just want to click them.
Those are SA keycaps too. They would click. They would go well with the lozenge.
This is
buttons.
so clicky. This
Yep.
is like the loudest
thick,
thing.
thick plastic.
You just
big
want people
buttons.
to know you're using it,
Mhm.
like from down the hall.
They're more fun to use.
But this has the cable. The cable's now flipped over
Yes, they picked up on
as
that.
of this
Yeah, I
period.
think the first like official manufactured version that Engelbart did, well, they flipped the cable around. They did
Okay.
it pretty quick. But I'm still like, what? 3 buttons? Because I thought that would be like, 20 years later, we had a 3rd button. But no, this is like
No.
really early on. This is from 73.
Which makes sense because Unix and X11, which is fairly old as user interfaces go, uses 3 buttons.
There you go. Yeah, it was built for it.
Yeah.
This one is, what is it called? It was the Depraz mouse.
Not the
And-
staple easy button mouse.
What is going on here?
It is.
I am
That
so
looks like a
confused.
forced claw grip. I mean, it's not. It's like a raised.
Eh.
It's a raised palm, arched palm. But that's from 1980, and this is actually the first Logitech mouse, because Logitech was like talked to Depraz, and they're like, "This is cool. We're gonna stop making software and start like selling these things," and they did, and it was kind of a hit. It's
Who
pretty-
came up with like the ball
The awesomeness.
mouse thing? Is that Xerox? You think they had it?
the mouse ball?
Yeah, because before it was the wheels. When did they
The
move
first
over?
one was the Telefunken.
Okay.
Rollkugel.
Rollkugel.
Yeah, that was the first.
That sounds like some sort of dish. Oh, for tonight's dinner, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
rollkugel.
Well, kugel, yeah, is a dish.
Yeah.
Right,
Maybe
so-
it's like a noodles.
Roll it, and put a wire in it.
And then also the cable comes out the side-ish.
Right. I've had a mouse or two. There are still a couple that do that. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really not good.
Because it pulls.
Yeah, you end up. Yeah, because it's not one lead that's moving a little bit. It's over here, so it ends up just wrapping around your knuckles constantly, unless your CPU is down there or something. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the Teletype DMD.
That's with the Teletype DMD. I don't know if that was like standard with it, or they just
Oh, okay.
like at that time you're like, now I need a mouse for my Teletype.
So this is Logitech's
Blip.
first mouse, and Logitech is
Yeah.
still like your G
Yeah,
series
they're
is Logitech.
pretty much leading the mouse game in a lot of senses in the mass market scale.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to have that mouse. I don't usually go for like too much, vintage lust, but that
This is
pretty
classic.
awesome.
I've used this mouse.
You've used this one with the mat.
Yes.
Wow.
Or something nearly identical.
Okay. It might have been
Not like
after.
this actual mouse now.
This is the first optical mouse, and that mat below it is really, it's not like a mat. It's an optical pad.
I
that has
totally
these
remember. Yeah, I had
tiny-
it. This was a glass. It was like a glass
That's
sheet.
awesome. That's really cool.
I think that
Did it look cool?
at MIT they had it. Well, it did, but you had to constantly clean it. And I
Yeah,
used it at
sure.
a lab that I think at MIT had one of these. Oh my! But it was a very, very long time ago.
You know, the mouse.
Or so very similar to this. Yeah, we had that optical grid.
Yeah, if, like a macro of it is. I mean, you don't even have to really go macro. It wasn't that
It's just
fine.
X's,
It's
yeah.
just they're cross.
If you lost
blue and
and
green.
the mat was like the really expensive part.
Sure.
Like if you
It looks
lost
like it.
or scratched it, like if there's a scratch, it was over. You had to move over to
You
the
have to
other
always
section.
avoid the scratch. It's
Yep.
the worst of scratching the record. Yeah, that's sweet. I mean, the mouse the mouse pad I use nowadays even has a fine pattern on it. It's really not necessary as long as there's like a grain or mat to the finish now. But
I have this 3M sticker I use. It works really great.
right, and it has like a pattern.
Yeah, it's a
finish?
little cute pattern, but it's
Yeah.
just to keep it. It also gives you a nice grip, so
For-
the mice doesn't slide off.
For optical mice, like it does help. Like
Oh, yeah.
older optical mice, it is helpful. And then this is the first Microsoft mouse.
Wow.
Also nice looking little green caps up
That's
there.
my favorite
Little
Microsoft.
chiclets.
That's like
button,
little
too.
chiclet. Yeah, I'm thinking
Yeah.
like those are mint chiclets.
So you can taste the spearmint.
It's a little bit. You know what? It reminds me a lot of the Xerox mouse, which has a little bit. I know it's kind of weird, but it has like the look of something that goes in a bathroom.
Definitely
Like it's
reminds
very.
me
Pretty sure
The
everything
bar of soap, is that what
that
you're thinking of?
Microsoft did kind of reminds you
I know,
of
but
a
no, but
Xerox thing
it's
because that
ironic
was their
there's
dealio.
Not just the interface,
Yeah.
but the mouse.
Mm.
Apple and Microsoft did a good job stealing Xerox stuff.
Yeah, it's
They
like
did.
carved soap. Doesn't it look like carved?
Yeah, it definitely
Porcelain?
does. It looks it's got a chunky chalk kind of thing going on.
Okay.
Could definitely probably fit well in a soap dish.
Why do you think Microsoft made?
Made a mouse so
Mouse.
early on? I
Yeah.
don't know. Actually, to be compatible with with Word, I believe, because I read something about this. They needed one. They needed one that was 2 buttons, I guess. Maybe I think there was some other feature about it. That they needed it to be
Because Microsoft has
compatible
been
with Word.
making. They've been
And
making
there weren't a
like.
lot of options for people then. So I think they wanted to add the feature to Word, and maybe there wasn't any other.
They're not
at
going to go
least
to
2-button
Sun.
mice.
Sun's going to tell them to like
Yeah, they're
go away.
Here, oh yeah, your users can buy this incredibly expensive optical thing at this
Yeah.
time, or I mean, I guess they probably had ball mice too.
And Microsoft still makes fairly good mice and keyboards.
Yeah, oh yeah, they do. Their hardware is quality. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. I mean,
People
the
don't think of them as a hardware
Xbox
company.
controller can knock somebody out. Yeah, it's pretty. it's
Okay,
pretty
now
good.
we're getting to the
And-
classic. This
Yep.
like I own this mouse
Go
for sure.
beige. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are getting pretty nostalgic for that.
Mac
for that
Plus.
color scheme nowadays. Yeah, that's the. It's
The
from that.
512?
This is the Apple Mouse 2 from '83, and you know, Apple single button. They got to do the single button.
I don't remember it being that large, but it
It
probably was that.
To this day, they have, to my knowledge, they have not produced a mouse with discrete buttons. With the touch mouse, you can press in different areas, the Magic Mouse,
Yeah.
and it'll register. But never, I don't think they've done one with split, with 2 buttons
No.
not visible.
They are so stubborn.
Also, this was made in the USA, and what's interesting is a lot of the mice that you showed are from areas of the world that are currently not making mice
The
or
next
hardware.
mouse is from
Kind
Japan.
of interesting.
Mm. Right, the next mouse.
The next, yeah, the one that next mouse said made in Japan,
Right. Oh yeah, you mentioned that before.
which is interesting. They made the hardware in Japan. Okay, now we're this
That's
is
what I
different.
meant by the next mouse.
Next. This is the second one
Yeah,
or the first one.
I think this one was first, and then to tell you the truth, this guy we looked at before. To tell you the truth, I hate to break it to you, it's really rare. This
Really?
one. Yeah, I was trying to find more info
Are you
on
going to
it.
steal this
and
from Phil?
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's cool, right?
harsh.
Um,
This one doesn't have the colored
short
next
cord.
logo, and this one does. So I don't know if that.
Right, because this one's
Helps
just too
date it.
rare. They didn't. That's probably
There's
makes
no
it even rarer.
documentation about it?
I don't even know. There's super. Basically, I found a picture of it, and it said, "This is rare." That was it.
Okay.
They're like, if you're looking for the next mouse, it's the square thing, like this.
I think it was my picture saying this is rare.
Yep, this is rare. You're working it up. Now, what's interesting here is 2 buttons. So
Yeah.
Steve, the man went over. He's like, you know what? I'm not that whole 1 button thing is just a kind of a joke I do with the Apple thing.
It's-
Anyway,
yeah.
here, do 2 buttons. You can't do 1 button. It's
I
ridiculous.
have a question. There you go. It's the buttons, and it looks like they're flush, but they're actually 2 separate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're separate. It's a really thin separation
Okay.
line there.
That's a nice bit. Now we're really getting into like very modern looking mice.
Right. And this is the mouse that I grew up with.
And which one is this?
This is the Amiga mouse
Amiga.
from '85, and I I watered it. I walked it.
Did you have to clean it constantly?
I cleaned it constantly. That's really what I was thinking of. But it was very comfortable. I liked it a lot.
That's actually a very nice.
Yeah.
It's not too big.
Pretty comfortable. It's nice and squarish, geometric, but also kind of getting a little ergonomic.
It's a satisfying. It has a little bit of that gemstone cut, but doesn't look like it's holds your soap. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't. It looks like a computer accessory.
Right. It looks like it fit in a hand pretty well.
But I'm wondering why didn't they make it rounded? Maybe it was just the style was cubic. That was futuristic.
Yeah, it was kind of It's rounded. It's not total sharp edges. Look at that strain relief.
Yeah.
That's not gonna break. That's still working to this day. Yeah, it was my brother's Amiga. Used it a lot. It was good stuff.
What did you do with the Amiga?
Played games.
Okay.
He showed me other stuff too. We did, but I remember a lot of.
Your brothers are an inspiration.
Yeah, I was very lucky. Music and technology. And I think you've heard of this guy.
This is I hated this mouse. I
Yeah.
used this mouse and I hated
You're not
it.
alone. A lot of people did.
This-
I love short, round mice, and I couldn't deal with it
This
either.
was
Because it was
so
low, too. If it was higher,
uncomfortable.
I could have hung with
You
it a
had
bit.
to claw grip it in like a weird.
This weird, it's not there enough way. It was too flat.
I think the iMac itself, by the way, I like the design of the iMac. I thought
Sure.
that was it seemed like a logical next step after the
It's still wild. It's still-
SE30. I'm okay with it. Yeah, so once in a while you see these iMacs.
It's wild when it first came out, and it still is like crazy today.
And the keyboard was okay, but this mouse was just
Yeah, the keyboard was alright. Yeah, and they were everywhere.
Yeah.
The office I used to work, there was a bin of them. I think people were just
What
throwing
year?
them
This
out,
was a
actually, but-
95-ish? 96?
Yep.
That was a low year for mouse design. Interesting that the mice from 10 years previous were more comfortable.
Yeah, it seems so. We have some proof here too. Yeah, the Apple with mice, it was kind of hard.
Experimental.
The new Magic Mouse is really pretty cool. It's pretty low, but the skids on it are these long bars on the side, and when you move horizontally,
It's like that
not
first
bad,
mouse.
though. Yeah, it's not that bad though. It's
And
good.
this might be another pseudo-random show later, because there's an entire subspecies that broke off on a Galapagos island thing where there was all these balls, these giant trackballs, and this is a Microsoft Easy Ball, which is pretty rare to see.
That's unusual, yeah.
Is it for kids?
There was a whole series, and so we should maybe save this.
We might have to
The
dedicate an
trackballs?
hour
The
to that or
trackballs.
something.
There,
yeah.
I remember going to
Actually,
Macworld,
trackballs,
and
yeah.
there was like a whole place where you could just buy the different marbles for
The
your
filler-
trackball.
Oh, and you can get. Did they have any like crystal ball ones?
They had everything for
Sure.
your Logitech. I don't remember the name of it, but you had like a side grip for it.
Right.
And all the graphic designers were like, "This is the future."
Oh, okay. I can't. I'm like, I get kind of like freaked out when I start using a trackball. It's really weird. So I pick it up, I turn it upside down, and I just rub it on the desk. And I have to reach my fingers around the front to click it, but
Do
it's
you-
really just
do
an
you think-
upside down ball mouse.
Do you think people even use trackballs?
No one uses trackball?
Nobody.
Go ahead and email me. No,
In the
I know,
world.
I know humans, good humans who depend on the trackballs.
okay.
I can't. It's not there. I don't have the gene. I don't like cilantro, and I can't use trackballs.
I hate cilantro too.
Yep, see?
Thank you.
Put it
Finally,
there.
someone.
And next to the Easy Ball, peeking around the corner is the first ergonomic mouse. That's the
That's the Microsoft mouse.
the
isn't it?
Microsoft ergonomic mouse. I don't remember the proper name. Is it called like the
Ergo mouse. Oh, no.
ergonomic mouse? It's probably called something simple like that.
But yeah, this is
But
the truly
pretty nice.
curved.
Yeah, nice style too.
Ooh, thanks for zooming in.
That
Yeah,
was
that was a
sweet.
popular
Nice
mouse. And they were like $20.
Yeah, they were good. They felt good, and they look pretty. It's got some kind of like a maybe Kubrick, kind of like a 2000.
And they have little indentations
Yeah.
for the fingers and
It
like
has
a little
the
groove.
lip on the edge. I remember
Yeah.
that button. Just there's a lip, so you.
So you're doing switch.
I guess yeah. So just a little warning. You're about to go over the gap because I would feel the gap, but you're giving me.
But yeah,
speed bump.
but you could pinch your finger maybe on it.
You could maybe it was comfy. I
Like
remember
medical
it.
stormtrooper looking now.
Yep.
It's funny how things change because like all plastic colors are possible, and this looks like special edition Star Trooper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Star
nowadays.
Wars.
Yeah, we don't
Stormtrooper.
use straight white too
Yeah.
much. Yeah, I love straight white plastic. I do.
The Apple
I
uses
really
it.
can't. Yeah, I really can't stand silver plastic. That's my one thing.
So a special thanks to Tony Nicola. This is his kind of video cam. And if you can hear that in the background, that's sound of
Clicky clacky, yeah. It's so clean. Yeah, that's an IBM. It is a very nice.
If you look on the wall, this is all programmers are running.
Right.
Okay, cool. What was this museum? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Tony. That was awesome.
Yay! Thanks, Tony.
Yeah. So and you know all of that, you know, all of those steps have evolved us to today to a culmination of design. That Phil, could you show them? Did you get any other images? I was saying, okay, good.
That's all.
All right.
we have that cool mouse.
Monster. It's evolved into, you know, monster laser blades.
Yeah, this is like Kylo Ren's mouse.
There are other mice besides gaming mice. I mean, I do acknowledge that. You brought the one you were using.
I just use a
just to represent.
Where the heck
did it
is
go?
it? That's right here.
It ran off.
I just use this. This is like my.
This is the mouse that I used before the G9. I like these a lot.
Yeah, Phil got one of
MX
these
Anywhere?
in Japan.
It's the one that you store the sensor.
It goes inside.
dongle
It
in
runs off
yeah.
AA's. You don't recharge it, and I really like it.
I remember this. I haven't used this in years. I do too. Super claw grip. It's awesome.
Yeah, see, you say claw grip, but for me, I'm like, oh, it's perfect because I just rest my hand. It's exactly.
Oh yeah.
Same size as my
You
hand.
can. I mean, it's just the palm mice don't lend themselves to the claw grip, but you can palm a claw grip.
Yeah, maybe I'll
mouse.
try claw grip.
I mean, hands are all different
Are there
sizes,
different
too.
grips? What other grips?
There's pretty much the claw fingertip where you just move it around with your fingers, and then palm. And this is the Logitech G900 Chaos Spectrum. I should have been more vocal fry with that. Chaos Spectrum. Bring it on. or
Yeah.
something.
And is this a gaming mouse?
This is
I hope so.
a whole lot of gaming mouse. This is like the hot potatoes
Look at these
right
like
now.
little ribs.
Right.
It's like, I
that's,
need more
That's
ribs.
where it vents
I need ribbings.
the acrid
Is this-
steams from its kills, basically. Every time you get a headshot, I go, sometimes a little blood spray in there. Maybe.
Oh, and these little blood grooves here.
Yep, that's the drain.
That's draining blood.
drain your kills.
Okay.
Don't reveal
And
that
this lights up, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay.
It cycles 3 billion colors. More colors than the eye can see.
And it has like 5 billion DPI.
Yep. And it has these little LED indicators here. I beg your pardon?
Oh yeah.
That's the
that
combatter
combat?
wing. The combatter wing. That needs to be in bold.
You know what's funny is somebody
Font.
wanted to call it like the combat, and somebody said it should be called a wing, and somebody said, well, let's combine it into combat or wing, and that's actually
And
the
they're like-
entire process of this mouse design
They're
was
like-
two people who just couldn't decide on.
Now you realize why I picked it out and wanted to highlight. Also in white. I think they probably made the combat wing, and then DC Comics was like, no. There's bat wings
Combatter.
in there. We used it, and they're like,
There's
okay,
too many
it's
call-outs.
combatter wing. There are for pretty obvious things. Oh yeah, there you go. Yep. And did you just see there's like two silver plastic chiclet buttons that are like under the main clicks? Like how am I'm supposed
Like,
to
what
use
is
like
it?
my palm knuckle? Like how it?
Your secondary fingers.
That's-
Actually, maybe you hold two hands
It
like
makes
this.
because it makes you kind of rage. That's why it's like it's good because your blood boiling. You get the
This
kills.
is respiration lamp. What does that do?
Respiration lamp? Is it perspiration lamp? For maybe
No, it says
it heats up your palm and makes you sweat a little bit more. Oh, it probably does a breathing color effect, like a palming or
Which is
pulsing or whatever.
important for your
Yeah.
kills.
Yes. It's important for when you take a video and you put a YouTube video so that something's animated at your desk. I mean, that's when I would turn it on.
But this is not.
This is palm.
This is
all
not
way.
the combatter wing.
This is not the combatter wing. It's actually got some similar vibes going on a little. This is like dark silver
Yeah,
plastic.
what is? Yeah, the silver. I understand why you hate the silver plastic.
Because they're going, when you're looking at it, you go, maybe that's metal. And then you go, oh, it's not. So like that's it. So now you own it,
It's a
and you
little
know it's not
kitschy,
metal,
yeah.
and you're just pretending to people that it's metal. It's not metal. We know it. Black plastic is beautiful. Just make it black or white, as we talked about.
I have a question. What about the back of old iPods? Remember they had that metallic flake on them?
iPods?
Really old iPods with the white front and the silver back?
Well, that was like chrome on. That was like a chrome coating on metal. Well, the one I had
I
was.
think it was chrome on. What about chrome plastic? Would you be okay with that? We could do a whole show on different processes.
Yeah, it flakes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's pretty bad. I mean, I think like
This.
bodied fill. This
That's
is straight
that
metal.
is plastic. That's plastic.
No. Huh. This is what we're looking at.
You know what's funny? It looks like a fake knockoff.
It does. I know. I'm looking at the font and I'm like,
That's not
wait,
the
this
iPod
isn't
font.
that.
That's like weird. Yeah.
And then I caught myself because I'm like, wait, you might be wrong. Is it just that old and I'm not used to it?
You're not used to it.
It's stretched. It looks like it's
Yeah,
stretched out.
it looks
You
fake.
guys see that? Yeah, you
Rolex, DVD, Louis Vuitton, iPod.
can. What the?
But this is
I have the same one.
Maybe it
No,
is-
this is
oh,
the
no, you know, maybe it is
Firewire
metal.
400, right? Yeah.
I
That
think it's
seems
metal-
like thin metal. There might be another model that's not, but that seems like.
it is cold, so that gives it. But I think it's metal, maybe plated onto plastic.
Yeah, it's definitely thin. But I know sometimes you can't tell if it's like.
But you're okay with this because you
But
can't,
then-
as long as it's cold.
Yeah, as long as it's cold. If you could keep the plastic cold, durable, and silver, basically, I would think it's metal, and then I wouldn't care. But yeah, it just bothers me. I'm like, it's faking. It's
This is a
faking it.
great mouse.
It would be a pretty sweet mouse. Capacitive buttons, right?
Okay, sorry. So,
You're scratching up the front of yours.
dude, this front and back is so scratched already.
Right. It's
Yeah.
it's.
I
been
wanna-
around
I'm
the
totally
block.
gonna sue
It looks
Apple.
better than mine. Mine's is like, ugh, mine's
so
like
this,
nasty. This. So this one is what do I say? The hot thing right now because it's like the first wireless that people have found
Oh, yeah,
performs
no
as
cord.
fast as it. You can use it corded. You can plug a cord in, it'll charge, and you can use it while it's charging. But yeah, it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, there's a little micro USB.
Yep.
Ooh, smart.
And but they've basically it's as fast. The response is as fast as a wired mouse, and
Okay.
it's due to Logitech was pretty open about their engineering. They put up a big chart, and it's like it's all about timing. Like we made sure that it's pulling the position, pulling the optical sensor in concert with the packets that are being sent out. Like so, everything is like really synced up between the chips and stuff inside.
Okay.
So and it's like really expensive. So let's break it and open it up.
Do people who use USB mice do they ever do a thing where it's like, oh, the mouse has to be on its own USB hub because that way it doesn't share?
I've heard some people, yeah,
Okay.
kind of say that, but no, it's not
Okay,
too
so you
often.
pre-disassembled
I did,
a
I
little
did.
bit.
I
To make it
pre-baked
easy.
a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
I got that.
Well, no, like just to be fair, it's like people think, oh my god, the mouse
Yeah.
came apart in like 1 second.
Right. It does. You can actually pull these buttons off all the time, which is kind of cool because you can switch this. And like, I'm left-handed. I want my forward and back buttons on the other side.
Oh.
So you can like swap this around. Maybe. Did I
That's
do it
quite
right?
nice.
Oh, there's another one you use. But anyway,
Okay.
we're going deep in that. So let's see. God, it's so
There's little magnets.
Yeah, that's how the buttons hold in. Wow. Okay. I didn't really look much. So this is what we normally have in a mouse. It's like one main board at the bottom. Nice wheel too. Nice and heavy.
Nice wheel.
Yeah.
Oh, made out of metal.
Yeah, and this has the lateral clicks too,
Oh.
which I never use, but
Interesting.
are
Yeah,
there.
it goes
so you
side
can
to
click
side.
down and you can click side to
Yeah,
side.
it's clicking this contact.
R-
Wait, I'm gonna
it's-
get in
right,
close.
I
'cause
can move
this
it a little bit for you.
Yeah. Let's be careful of the HDMI.
Yes.
Okay. So
Whoop.
over here, you've
Rip.
got an ARM STM32L100. So it's interesting. It's not a single usage chip. Usually low cost mice, they'll have like a custom ASIC.
Right. This
This is
is
actually an
definitely not a low
STM32.
cost.
Big win for
Nice,
ST.
yeah, it's got a lot of work to do in there.
So yeah, I don't know exactly why
Nice
they
and neat board.
covered this with epoxy.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It has like icing on it.
Yeah, maybe it's for protection because there's just so much.
Like we
like
know
you're
you
sweating into it.
You
or
damn
something.
gamer kids are gonna open it up and be looking inside.
And then you
Can I
got
get a
this-
little bit closer.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I just meant I was moving the camera.
Yeah, but you have to.
Oh, and refocus.
Refocus.
That's true.
Okay, so that's the ARM STM, and then here is your.
You wanna
Well,
plug
actually,
this?
here's easy. This is the battery.
The Logitech battery?
So this is a lithium polymer battery, 750 milliamps. So it's actually pretty
There's
intense.
PCBs up here too.
Yeah, there's little holders for contact.
That's just for content. So that's just for the switches. So the switches are actually, they're not sitting on a main board. There's like these two-tiered boards here, and then the switches are right up there underneath.
Yeah, these actually you can see they're they plug in the switches, and then the wire
And they're
goes
going
back
down
here,
to that ribbon.
and they probably connect
Right.
to this ribbon, which brings the signal over. And I'm gonna just pop this
That's
out.
weird that they're housed right under the switch. I guess it does seem like it clicks super easily.
What
So that would make sense.
What do you mean? What's housed
Well,
under?
these switches are, boom, like right underneath the buttons. I mean, on other mice, when I've opened up, there's been like, a peg that's
Oh, there
underneath the
isn't-
button
yeah.
that's then communicating to the board, physically, mechanically communicating, and poking the switch on the board. So yeah, there's PCB
But this one,
here.
no, though it mounts the
And
switch
then-
right up against it.
Looks like there's one like along the side too. Maybe it's antenna or no? That
No,
wouldn't be
I
over this line,
think-
over this ribbon.
That's a good question.
There's a PCB, maybe something to do with the battery. It looks like there's one over the battery.
You know what? I think that's a mechanical stability because PCB is not too expensive.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that's to keep this in place,
Oh, all right.
so they have something
Oh,
to
it might
grip
be
onto.
going down, just be a part of that.
Yeah, and then I think this is mounted onto a PCB. You can see there's this PCB back here. It pokes out.
You could replace that battery pretty easily, I guess.
Yeah, this is a
cool.
completely standard battery if you ever want to switch batteries. So that's
Right.
kind of nice. They didn't pick something, and the connector is also very standard,
Right. Yes.
very easy to
Sure.
connect. Okay, and then here's the optical.
guy.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just
That's the
showing your mouse.
sensor. Ah, that's fine.
So that's the optical sensor here.
Yes.
And this
I'm
is
just looking at
the
Could pull that board up too.
PMW. You think so?
No, we'd have to unscrew the wheel board first. And you need a different tip. There we go.
Okay.
The wheel.
Yeah, and there's
This
a
is just-
crystal. I don't know what these switches are. Maybe there's protection for each of the switches. Not sure if each.
Nice row.
Yeah, ESD protection or level shifting, perhaps. Do you know?
I do not know.
And then this. Oh, you can
There's-
see the really cool optical encoder wheel. See that?
Oh, it is
Pets?
an optical encoder. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and then there's the little optical.
Grab the screwdriver. Sorry.
There's an optical sensor. Oh, cool. So this is the
Oh, that's it right there.
that's the LED,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is
Yeah,
the photo
you see the-
transistor. Yeah, see that little LED? That one's going to blink through. And then
That's
it's
I
gonna-
forget. Yeah, if it free spins, then, and this is the button that switches it from step to. Oh, but maybe it doesn't work unless the case is on. But it's supposed to
Yeah.
switch from step to free spinning mode. I don't know how easily that guy's gonna come off, but I could
Okay.
try.
Yeah, go for it.
I think we have to take this off, and I'm not gonna be able to reach in without pulling the that light pipe off, huh? Maybe not. I'm not sure. Yeah, this might be for a rainy day. We'll see once I get the second one. I've never seen so many PCBs like in tier formation like this stacked up.
Yeah, this
in a
is
mouse.
pretty intense.
Sorry. I'm just seeing if I could reach this screw without pulling off the whole wheel. And it might force me to pull it off anyway. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's probably gonna.
The whole thing is like one big assembly.
Yeah, this is
This whole
it's
piece?
here. This is plastic, and the wheel probably has to come out.
That's okay. I mean, you can see
Yeah.
the sensor in the wheel, and then that signal is brought out here.
Right. I always want to look at the eye of the sensor. Gotta look at the eye of the sensor.
That's you'll have to.
Yeah, we have to excavate a bit.
You have to do quite a bit. I can take a pass at it. I mean,
Sure, if you want.
so you can
Yeah.
you can talk more about. So if there was a perfect mouse, what would be all the elements?
I wouldn't mind wireless, but definitely I like that short, pucky kind of thing going on, and no logos, no lights. That's
Yeah.
definitely good. But
You like it the basic style?
yeah, I don't really have a preference between laser and optical. That's a really big thing. Is people are.
Well, what's
you
a
know,
laser mouse? I've never actually
Well,
used a
they're
laser mouse.
both basically they both are optical mice. They use optical sensors, right?
Yeah.
But it's about what they use to illuminate the surface. So an optical mice is basically an LED illumination on
Yeah.
the surface that's then sensed basically a camera taking pictures of it and looking for differences. And a laser mouse uses a laser to illuminate the surface. Because a laser is so intense, it more or less illuminates basically the structure. Like it can go, if it's fabric, it'll be going, it's a laser, so it's going like deep through the surface. So they work much better on hard surfaces. And I heard a pretty in-depth explanation of it, but it amounts to like they can have challenges with really, really fast movement, and they can be prone to, the older ones can be prone to error as far as I understand. I'm probably, starting to delve into territory that's not 100% true, but people feel that the optical mice are smoother, like they don't do that weird stuff. But they're more picky about the surface that's needed.
Okay, I got these pieces off.
Oh, those come off?
Yeah, apparently.
Those are like wings. You can see the paint on them too.
Yeah, this is this is exactly what you hate.
See,
You hate that.
All
right, this is about as good as I'm going to be able to get.
All right, that's okay. I don't need to see the eye. That's all right.
But there is a part number on it. And do people have like brands of photo sensors that they like?
Avago or Avago.
Yeah.
I don't remember the individual numbers, but they stick around for a while. There's not refreshes as often as you might think.
So like once you can get like breakouts for mouse sensors.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something holding
You
this
can use
down.
them as cameras. Yeah. It's this plastic that's onto the base. We'd have to probably pry the wheel out. Probably have to like maybe pop it out like this.
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna shatter the
whatever.
light pipe thing around it.
You can do it.
It's
Do you want me to pry it on one
once
side?
I grab one side, the other one jumps back in.
Hold on.
Oh, we're just gonna go for it? Here,
Yeah.
I'll go for it. Oh, yeah. It's
Yay.
like keycaps. You gotta just go. Wait. Yay, and then what? Safety, engaged.
What? It won't let you
It will
pull-
not let go. This is the most advanced mouse wheel I have ever seen. It won't let go. All right. Oh yeah, it's got a retaining clip here.
Oh, I didn't even
What?
notice that.
You guys see that?
Hold on.
Just burn it.
Yeah, I know. I got it. Okay.
Wow. So it's when you're really hard gaming, it doesn't
Yeah.
fly out. And whoa!
They hit you in the eye or something?
Wow, it's a nice little piece there.
Yeah, and then you can really
And
see the photo sensor.
And by the way, it's still not coming off.
It's still,
Like-
yeah, who knows? But here's like, you can see all these little, that retainer clip is part of the,
Oh wait, it's probably how it goes from steps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like notched to smooth to freewheel mode. It's like this. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Well, this is a very advanced mouse. I actually like that it's an STM processor. It makes me think that these are probably debug ports. You could write your own
Big
mouse
pads.
firmware if you're feeling a little crazy.
Ooh, challenge submitted.
All right.
Yeah, it's got. Oh yeah, and there's a button on the other side. There's like the power switch is under there, and this is a profile switch, so you can change like.
What's profile?
Well, you can have specific settings with the lighting and the DPI steps that you're using, and then if you're like, now I'm gonna let my kid brother use it, and he has his own preferences, so then he hits the button and it goes into kid brother mode, and it'll have whatever you saved on for your kid brother.
I'm totally destroying your mouse. Is that okay?
It's your mouse now.
Well, we did get it specifically for.
We did.
this video.
It's a Palm mouse, so I'm fine with it.
How on
Let
earth
it go.
is this stuck in there?
Are these
super
screws here?
fascinated.
Let them see. I want to make sure we're not totally being antisocial. This goes. Wait, no, you're right. It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense.
Okay, this plastic is. Wait, is it? Is that structural? Is that in? It's like this plastic, this
Goes all
big
the way
plastic
through.
chunk. It goes through and is attached to the base like it's one
Probably a
piece.
sticker underneath that you have to peel.
No,
We
no,
did that.
we peeled
I already
all
missed that
stickers.
before, and then
Right.
Lamore's like, "You didn't deal with the sticker."
There might be snap press in there.
I think yeah,
With
there's
like a little clippy thing that once it clips through it.
PCB is really.
yeah, but you don't know what the clippy thing is until
Yeah.
you know what the clippy
No, I
thing
know.
is.
Damn it, Clippy. Oh, okay. Oh, you're saying I gotcha.
Yeah.
That probably is it. Like clicks in. You're right. And there's no spots to wedge it open.
Yeah, this is totally ridiculous.
Well, it's not made to be surfaced. Really thin PCBs, I guess, that probably contributes to the low
These are
weight.
very thin PCBs.
Yeah.
Well, it's also less expensive. I mean, you do pay for fiberglass.
And weight is a big thing if you want to keep this thing light. It's got the LiPo battery in it.
well, we could just like break the bottom if you really don't mind. If you want to look at the bottom of the sensor.
I'm fine either way. I'm pretty satisfied with the mouse
Okay.
revealing I've seen.
You
Oh,
ready?
you're going for it. All right, shield your eyes. We're both wearing glasses. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Look, it wasn't.
There you go, guys.
It wasn't.
That was the spine. Wasn't meant to be. I'm like, wait, are we going to
But
use
here,
this?
what's fascinating is,
Should
like-
I? And I was keeping the box and everything. It's funny.
No, we got this specifically for disassembly.
No, we did, but I didn't know if we were going to
You
use
were
it.
never going to get this back together, by the way. There's like 5,000.
I don't want to. I don't want to. Honestly, I just
Now
think
it's
I think
really
it's
over.
pretty awesome to see you just.
Well, okay,
cracking
but
it.
the Apple mouse and then the Amiga mouse, you can't do this with the.
No, those are really
This is really
thick,
skinny.
thick. Yeah, it is. They want to keep it light.
Okay, so that's the
That's my excuse. I don't
lens.
know. Yeah, it wants to come out. Oh, we have
Yeah.
to take this mask off it.
What do you
because
mean?
you could we're not going to super macro here, but sensors.
There's a
they
sensor?
They look cool.
I've never looked at one of these sensors, so I actually have no idea. No, I think that's it.
I guess there's this
That's
aperture
it.
thing.
It's like a pinhole camera, and then there's a little, or this is the pinhole camera, and what's neat is it's through a hole. Kind of fascinating.
You're right, I guess it's just going to assume it's going to be over a gap and
then this is
it's
the
designed
lens,
that way for stability or something.
and they just have to design the lens for it. Yeah, this is like not. See, this plastic goes all the way through. I still have no idea how the hell you would ever remove this. Sorry.
It'll never game again.
And then they have epoxy on this for protection or something.
I didn't even play the new Doom. I mean,
We'll get you
never
another
know.
mouse.
I've got a few others.
Okay.
That was
no,
fun.
This is the backup.
That was fun. I enjoyed it.
Okay, so it's
That's-
interesting.
There's your chaos spectrum. It's this
We
trying
chaos.
to meet the element of disorder that it's named after. It was destined to happen.
Okay, well maybe we'll at some point in the future we'll get a ball mouse. We'll take it apart. It's a lot simpler. There's
Right.
not nearly as much going on. Don't even. That's rare.
No, I was just gonna look at the ball and go, there you go, done.
Okay.
Like it's that easy in comparison.
All right,
But
that
that's
was
not totally taken apart.
that was a wonderful trip.
It was, yeah.
I'm sorry I
We
destroyed
learned
your
a lot.
mouse.
It's okay. When you
Here's
least expect it,
the wheel.
your quiet key is gonna get a little surgery.
I should probably get a new keyboard.
It would probably be fine. It would probably stay
It'll
until,
probably-
like any abuse.
They're pretty indestructible. I've spilled like 3 Cokes on it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's just gets a little quieter each time, or noisier maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, awesome.
That was fun.
Okay. Well, that was
Yeah.
an awesome
Yeah.
random. Thank you so much for
Deep
showing
topics.
us.
We're gonna move to another island of them soon.
Of your mouse?
And do some deep dives. Not mice, something else.
And check out the
move
previous
on.
one where we did keyboards as well.
Right. Might have to do another one of those. There's a lot more there.
And upcoming artisanal USB hubs.
Just
All right.
wait.
Is this
no
it?
fur.
We're out.
Made out of porcupines.
We are.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Now with Pseudorandom.